Hey, what's up, little treat virgin gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty well. Today on something I just feel like showing off from the Yield collection is going to be the shiny Rayquaza statue right here. This came from the Hidden Fates Ultra Fudgy Super Delicious Premium Collection. There was two versions of it. There was one without the figure, and then there was a bigger one that did have the figure. The problem with it is if you found it at Walmart or Target, the figure would always basically be destroyed and be missing apart. Like the Rayquaza head would just be off, look like Herc got on the back of the Hydra, just start slashing heads off. The figure would always look like that. Luckily, I found one where the figure was intact. I liked it, bought it up. We still have it right here, and it has Virginia's favorite Cleffa card proudly displayed, and it's just a beautiful figure. They don't really make figures like that anymore for Pokemon. I mean, they kind of do, but not actually like its products like that. Maybe the Pikachu VMAX was the last one I can really remember being like that. Anyway, want to dive back into some r/Pokey investing. It's my favorite thing. I've worked hard this week. I'm sure you've worked hard this week too. Appreciate y'all. Hope you guys have a great weekend coming up. It's Friday. Let's finish out good. And let's look at something I've seen before, but it's going to start popping up a little bit more. We can have a good little laugh at this, in my personal opinion. So right here, we are on r/Pokey investing, and we got this nice little story right here. Worth the buy? Long story short, local collectors offer me all this for $750, I'm assuming, dollars. Worth it? Planning on selling most of the slabs to recoup the investment on the purchase, then holding on to the sealed for a good bit. Also, any heavy hitters in here I am missing? What do y'all think? So down here, you just got a bunch of product. We're looking at starter decks. We're looking at some Trick or Trade. Got a nice little Jolteon box, Astral Radiance, Pokemon Go. There's a nice like Sun and Moon base box, for an ETB down there. That's all right. But a lot of battle styles I'm noticing right off the bat. I like battle styles, but that's not very popular of a set. A lot of people think it is the worst set Sword and Shield has made next to like Rebel Clash. I don't think either of those sets personally are bad, but a lot of people do. Doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the people think. Down at the bottom, there is a nice little thing down there where there's, I think that's Roaring Skies and Evolutions. This little 3-pack blister. That's kind of neat. That's a little, that'd be worth a little bit right there. Where it gets hilarious to me, where it gets truly funny, is where you actually go over to the slabs and you're just looking at this stuff. So this is what the person is planning on selling to recoup the investment that they're putting the money into right now. I'm looking at this. I'm going to be blatantly honest. So up at the top, there's like some regular base set crap up there. Got a Topps Pidgeotto, and then a bunch of just things that look like they're from like Champion's Path. Got some promos, and then look, I like Hop. I like Odd Food Can. I like Champion's Path certain cards. I think they're all right. I think the set's garbage, but certain cards, and they're okay. Hop's one of them. I like Full Art Trainers. I like collect that stuff. Hop's not going to be making anybody any fucking money. Odd Food Can is not going to be making anybody any fucking money. Really, the only thing in there that's kind of interesting is I see a shiny Suicune in there, and that looks okay. But other than that, we see a bunch of junk, and nothing is more reeking of junk than the fucking 7 or 8 Pikachus, the General Mills serial promo Pikachus. So what this reeks of me is like an investor trying to actually dump a bunch of shit they can't move onto a new collector or an unsuspecting collector, promising this is more than it is, basically. In my personal opinion, $750 for this is a fucking ripoff. That is awful. Like, I think 500 is kind of pushing it. I think 450 is a little high. I think if you wanted to sell this guy like maybe 350 or 400 for all that stuff, I personally think it'd be all right, but this is a bunch of junk, and it reeks of somebody who is trying to get as many boxes of cereal as they could, trying to get as many boxes of Champion's Path as they could, and while they were there, Battle Styles came out right after, and they were just like, oh, I'm going to grab as much Battle Styles as I can. This is going to be fucking great. I'm just going to hold on to this stuff. Like I said, there is some crap in here that's worth a little bit, like that fucking 3-pack blister at the bottom. The Jolteon box is all right. And then, of course, ETBs, you hold on to those long enough, it'll be okay. But for the most part, man, like, this reeks to me of someone dumping. But hey, why take my word for it when there's comments on this stuff as well? Dude, it's fucking, just my opinion. He's offloading all his extra shit he can't move to anyone who will buy. Adding in an extra EV box and blisters as the incentive. I wouldn't touch this personally. And, of course, the person right below came here to say this. I mean, I've done it, so I don't blame him. But $750 is outrageous. So these are all sellers that are basically giving away the game for what it is because of how outrageous this is. I think $750 is fucking ridiculous. And they even bring up the General Mills Pikachus, like the CGC 9s. Someone says they go for 15 bucks. And I beg to differ. I would say that's probably like a $10 card right there. Maybe like $8 if you're fucking going around stuff. Just because it's in a slab does not automatically mean it's worth like double digits or anything like that. It just does not. If you can sell it for that much, I mean, fucking go for it. But To me, this whole thing reeks of it. The other people in this fucking subreddit see it too. And in my personal opinion, you're going to start seeing a lot of this stuff popping up as people are leaving the Pokemon space where people just aren't making the money they used to. We're seeing a lot of weird, slimy tactics pop up in sales. We're seeing stuff happening with actual product. And people are just going to start dumping weird things and adding like one cool thing as an incentive. But like for me, like this is a nice little stack of like AR cards in Japanese right here. I got about like, 80 different ones. It's all 80 individuals. They're going to go in a binder. But if I wanted to actually sell those and I wanted to actually get something else for my collection with that, I would definitely sell that stuff at a discount. I would not fucking try to like hype that shit up to a weird number like $750. Like I'd cut someone a deal too. Like they're all worth like $1 to $2 each. I'd be like, okay, like maybe $100, $110 is what it's worth. How does like, $80? How's just $1 even for the whole thing sound for all that stuff? Or 75 even, knock off the $5 for the shipping or something. Like cut someone a deal for that. But the investor bros and the people who sunk money into this aren't looking at it like that. They see a bunch of shit that they invested in because they were following the Pokemon dream of 2020, 2021, which is what most of that stuff generally is. And they're looking to dump it on someone who fucking doesn't know any better. You're going to see a lot of it too. There's going to be a lot of people dumping weird things they're holding on to. There's somebody just holding on to a giant stack of fucking Charizard promos from Champion's Path as well. I fucking guarantee it that there's going to be a lot. I know there is. It's going to be a very weird thing. There's someone with a fucking giant stack of VMAX EVs from the fucking Shining Fates ETBs too. I know there is. And you're going to see someone just trying to offload a bunch of them at one point, and they're going to try to make as much as they can by throwing like a, I don't know, what would they throw in that to give incentive lately? Maybe like a Brilliant Stars ETB, maybe something a little older, maybe like a couple Evolutions packs in there too to fucking sweeten up the deal a little bit, and they'll charge something dumb like $400 for all that. It'd be like, yeah, fuck that, bro. That's really fucking stupid. No one's paying that. That's all I got. Appreciate it, virgins. Like I said, you're gonna see a lot of this stuff. Look out for people. And yeah, it's gonna get really fucking sweaty out here for some sellers. It's gonna get really sweaty for some investors out here, and I can't wait to see it. See you later, virgins.